If you're over 60, gardening should not leave you bent over, exhausted, and sore for 2 days. These gardening tips for seniors will help you make the garden work for your body, not against it. In my garden, I learned this the hard way. The wrong setup can turn a peaceful hobby into a daily battle. By the end, you'll know how to reduce bending, lifting, watering, and unnecessary work. This is practical gardening for seniors, and it starts with the garden itself. Tip number 1. Raise the garden. My first tip is simple: raise your garden. Raised beds and tall containers can save your back, knees, and energy. You should not have to kneel on the ground every time you want to pull a weed or pick a tomato. A good raised bed does not need to be extremely tall. Even 12 to 18 inches can make a big difference. For even easier access, place some containers on sturdy benches or plant stands. Keep the plants close to waist height. But be careful. Do not use a weak table or an unstable stand. The container should not wobble when you press against it. In my garden, I keep the plants I visit most often near the house. Herbs, lettuce, peppers, and tomatoes stay close. Plants that need less attention can go farther away. That one change saves walking, bending, and time. Ask yourself this: which plants do you check every day? Raise those first. And stay with me because tip number 2 can make watering much easier. Tip number 2. Use tools that reduce strain. The second tip is to stop making your body do work that a tool can do. Use lightweight tools with comfortable handles. Long-handled weeders can reduce bending. A small rolling cart can save you from carrying heavy bags, pots, and watering cans. Personally, I think a sturdy garden seat is one of the most underrated tools in the garden. You do not need to stand the entire time. Sit while planting seeds, trimming herbs, or harvesting vegetables. And here's another small change. Keep your most used tools where you garden. I used to walk back and forth for one tool at a time. That sounds harmless, but over an entire afternoon, it adds up. Now I use a small bucket or tool caddy. Everything comes with me. Wait, stop scrolling for a second. This next part is critical. Do not carry more than you comfortably can. Split heavy soil bags into smaller containers. Use a cart when possible. Gardening should challenge your plants, not your balance. Have you ever finished gardening and realized your shoulders were tense the entire time? That is your body asking for a better system. Tip number 3. Water smarter, not harder. Tip number 3 is to simplify watering. Carrying a heavy watering can across the yard every day is exhausting. A soaker hose or drip irrigation system can deliver water directly to the soil. You can also use a lightweight hose with an easy grip nozzle. Choose one that does not twist constantly or require a lot of hand strength. In my garden, mulch does a lot of the work for me. A layer of straw, shredded leaves, or untreated wood mulch helps the soil stay moist longer. That means fewer watering trips. But do not pile mulch directly against plant stems. Leave a small space around the base so moisture does not stay trapped against the plant. And remember, more water is not always better. I learned this the hard way with container plants. I thought I was helping them. Instead, I was keeping the roots too wet. Check the soil first. If the top inch feels damp, wait. Honestly, I would rather spend 5 minutes checking the soil than waste 20 minutes watering plants that do not need it. That is one of the simplest principles of senior gardening. Make the garden tell you what it needs. But wait, the next 2 tips solve problems you may not even realize are making gardening harder. And before we continue, if this video is helping you rethink your garden, subscribe for practical plant care and low-effort gardening ideas. Now let's talk about the plants themselves. Tip number 4 is to choose plants that fit your lifestyle. You do not need a garden full of fussy plants that demand constant pruning, feeding, and watering. Choose reliable plants that can handle a little neglect. Herbs such as thyme, sage, rosemary, and chives are often useful and fairly manageable. Perennial flowers can return every year instead of making you replant the same space repeatedly. Native plants are also worth considering because they are adapted to your local conditions. But always check whether a plant fits your climate before buying it. In my garden, I prefer plants that give me something back. Herbs I can harvest, flowers that attract pollinators, vegetables that keep producing. That is better than spending all season caring for a plant that gives me one flower and then collapses. Here's the reality. A beautiful plant is not automatically a good plant for your garden. The best plant is one you can enjoy without constantly fighting it. And tip number 5 is where safety and comfort come together. Tip number 5. Garden in short, planned sessions. Do not try to finish everything in one afternoon. Garden in short sessions. 20 to 30 minutes can be enough. Pull a few weeds, harvest vegetables, water containers, then stop before you feel completely worn out. I like to divide garden jobs by day. 1 day for planting, 1 day for pruning, one day for harvesting and cleanup. This keeps small jobs from becoming one huge, exhausting project. Also, garden during the cooler part of the day when possible. Early morning or late afternoon is usually more comfortable than working in intense midday heat. Keep a chair nearby, keep water nearby, wear shoes with good support, and please keep pathways clear. A beautiful garden is not worth a dangerous trip hazard. The biggest improvement may not be a new plant or tool. It may be changing how your garden is arranged. Here is how I would reset a garden for easier gardening for seniors. First, move frequently used plants closer to the house. Second, raise containers and garden beds where possible. Third, place tools, water, and a seat within easy reach. Fourth, cover bare soil with mulch. Finally, remove plants and garden features that require more work than they are worth. You are not giving up on gardening. You are designing a garden you can enjoy for many more years. That is the real goal. So remember, raise the garden, use lighter tools, water smarter, choose forgiving plants, and work in short sessions. These are simple gardening tips for seniors, but they can make a huge difference in your comfort and confidence. In my garden, I learned that gardening gets better when you stop proving how much work you can tolerate. Now go make one small change that makes your garden easier. Subscribe for more practical garden advice, and drop a comment telling me which of these 5 tips you'll try first. I read every single one.